Hi, it's Leslie Antoine. I'm about to start my Communicate Your Understanding quiz number 7. In the first question, first part of the third part question, you ask us the amount of heparin to administer for the initial bolus. Now we know we're given the initial bolus in 80 units, as 80 units in kilograms. We multiply that by his weight in kilograms and we get 7,016 units. And so we just have to make sure that that is still below the maximum, which is 8,000, and that is still below, so we're good, we can move forward. And since we're administering it with an injection, we need to convert that into milliliters. So we use the units and we multiply that by the dimensional analysis to cross out the units so that we can get out milliliters. We have the conversion of 1 milliliter over 100 units, and that gets us 2 milliliters by crossing out the units again. So that brings us to 70.16 milliliters, in which case I would simplify to 70.2 milliliters. Second part of the question, the initial unit per hour rate of heparin. Again, we have to multiply what the initial rate is given to us as 17 units kilograms per hour. So then we multiply 17 units kilograms per hour by the weight in kilograms, and we get 1,490 units. Is that below the max? Yes, it is. The max is 1,700 as the initial infusion rate. So that's still below, so it's safe. We can move on to the third part, which would be to translate that into milliliters per hour so that we can administer via IV. And in this case, we use the units per milliliter, which are the IV units. So we translate, so we use 1,490.9 units per hour. We multiply that by the IV rate given to us, which is 250 milliliters by over 2,500 units, and we cancel out the units, and we're left with the milliliters over hours. The last part of the question, we need to make sure we follow the protocol. Initial bolus and infusion dependent on weight, because of course we're administering with an injection, so you need to convert to milliliters using what you have available as an injection. So again, just to reiterate the first part of the question, we are given in the first part as an injection 1 milliliter over 100 units, and as the IV 250 milliliters over 2,500 units. Okay, the IV is next. Let's see. Okay, so now in order to, once we check after we've been administering the 14.9 milliliters per hour, we need to check to make sure that the patient's blood is clotting. Is not clotting. Because if the blood is still clotting, then we need to increase. If the blood is not clotting, we either keep it the same or decrease in that. We have the protocol, written protocol here. Actually, it's on another piece of paper. Yeah, it's not here, but basically we know that with an APTT score of 98, there was no clotting happening. So according to this protocol, we need to decrease by 2 units per kilogram per hour and repeat again, checking the APTT every 5 hours. So we just simply subtract 2 from 1490, and we're left 1488.9 units per hour, and then we multiply that by 250 milliliters over 2,500 milliliters, and we get the milliliters per hour, so that we know how much to administer. To administer. So we know to administer at this point 14.9 milliliters per hour, which kind of is strange because it doesn't sound right, to be honest, because Seems like it's the same amount, but okay. I'll have to double check that, but yeah. So I think I've gone through everything. This is a harder chapter than usual, so hopefully I got everything right. Thanks. Bye.